as soon as the gun went off, I'd probably leave. However, everyone starts dancing again, so I might be like, is it fine? Okay, I'll stay.
Hedda.
I'm Nia DaCosta, and I'm the director of Hedda.
Why did you come here? To make sure I didn't love you.
Hedda is a story about a woman who finds herself in a loveless marriage in a big house that's a gilded cage, and she has a party to sort of introduce her and her husband to society. And during that party, an ex-lover comes and destabilizes her. And being unable to deal with all of that, she starts to manipulate people and wreak havoc on the proceedings.
Sometimes I can't help myself.
Jesus, these people.
I mean, I love Ibsen's work, and I love the way he writes women. I find his curiosity really exciting, and I was like, wow, great Ibsen. And then I read Hedda, and I was like, oh, like he's really interested in complicated women and challenging the audience to sit with these women. And I thought Hedda in particular was so funny and so full of life, even though she seems to be teetering between life and death so much. And I thought it was fascinating. So that's why I wanted to adapt it.
Nothing.
I think very early on, one of those ideas was Lovborg being a woman, like what that would do to the play, what that would do to the character in particular, and the relationship between Lovborg and Hedda. And so that was really early on, and then I was just kind of thinking about it for years before I finally sat down and wrote. I think the more urgent thing was like, how am I going to make this play into a movie? I know I didn't want to change it so much that it was like going to be in multiple locations, and then I was going to take the characters to different places. The original play takes place in one room, like in the parlor. And I knew I wanted it to be in one location, but like in a big house. So you see the house. I knew I wanted to have a lot more characters. I knew I wanted to see a lot of what happened off screen or off stage on the play, on screen in the film. And so a lot of my decision making was less about how do I make it modern and more how do I make it work for cinema. And so I just thought about all these like great movies that I love that are in one house, like Gosford Park, or that happen over the course of like a weekend party or something like Festive, as a way to kind of speak to now.
You'll see.
Well, you're not leaving, are you?
Best to resist temptation. Oh, come on, Eileen.
It was so interesting, Hilda. We had this conversation about breath, about percussion. Then she sent me some stuff. And she's like, what do you like of these? And it was like some recordings, like, glass, wood, and drum recordings. And basically I went through and I was like, I like this, I like this, I like that because of this. And then we kind of figured out where and when each thing would be used. And it was so weird because before we even shot, we had a lot of music that I could play for the cast. We basically knew what the score would be before we started shooting. And then as we were developing, as I was editing, as things were changing and shifting, and as we were finding like the need for other sounds and things, then the theme came in, the Stolen Tale theme that we hear a few times, which is sort of like the love theme between Lovborg and Hedda. Oh my God, I'd have so much fun. If I was invited to that party, I would basically do what Jane does, which is she's there. Actually, no, I wouldn't. She's stirring the pot. I wouldn't stir the pot. I'd come and I would drink and have fun, and as soon as the gun went off, I'd probably leave. However, everyone starts dancing again, so I might be like, is it fine? Okay, I'll stay. And it's funny because I was talking to someone and they were like, why does everyone stay after the gun goes off? And I was like, I literally read about parties of the time where some crazy scrap happens, someone shoots someone, and then everyone keeps like drinking and going because they're all on drugs. So I was like, it's accurate. It was really.
I hope you're happy.
Don't I look happy?